Good day! Welcome to another video lesson on writing. This is all about a play review. By the end of this video, you should be able to determine the relevance and the truthfulness and judge the validity of the ideas presented in viewing, listening, and reading play review texts. Do you enjoy watching movies at the cinema? How about buying books? Oftentimes, we become critical about the works we consume because of the time, effort, and the money they might cost us. One way to decide whether or not to invest in a work is to look at the reviews beforehand. Whether we rely on professional critics or the public's word of mouth, feedback tends to be a large factor in whether or not a work will become popular or successful. The same is true for plays. That is why it is important for a reviewer to produce a well-written review. Let's first recall the definition of a play. A play is a story that is acted out on stage. It dramatizes events through the performance of dialogue and stage directions. On the other hand, when we say play review, it is one of the genres that is used for theatrical critique. The basis of any review is a critical analysis of a performance, movie, or art. Here are some things you can do to analyze a play and write a play review. First, analyze the elements of the play. Identify the techniques that the writer used and determine the play's tone, mood, and purpose. You may also ask yourselves the following questions. Did the writer have any other purpose aside from entertaining the audience? Is the play meant to be informative or persuasive as well? And do you think the writer was able to achieve the intended purpose of the play? Second, evaluate the word choice in the play. As you do this, take note of the writer's target audience as well. If the play is targeted towards teens, do you think the writer used words that can be easily understood by the target audience? Third, observe the characters' actions. What do the characters say or do in the play? Are their actions consistent with the personality they are supposed to have? Are their lines also consistent and movements as well? Fourth, take note of the plot. You may think about the following. Is the context of the story evident? Is a plot understandable and easy to follow? And is the progression of events in the play logical? Fifth, provide critical feedback. Feedback is defined as information or criticism that is meant to let someone know what he or she can do in order to improve his or her work. In this case, you may do this by reviewing the piece and not the creator, pointing out the strengths of the work, providing suggestions and recommendations, and being objective. And lastly, revise your review as necessary. Take a look at your review after you have finished writing it. Is it objective? Does it contain constructive criticism and not harsh comments? Is it respectful? Take note too of your words, sentences, and punctuation. Correct errors in grammar, word choice, and mechanics if there are any. Here's a sample play review. The characters are lively, quirky, and believable. However, there are scenes in the story that seem to distract from its flow and keep the plot from progressing naturally. For example, Ryan's confrontation with his brother seemed to have happened out of the blue, and the context for this was not made evident in the play. Perhaps it would have been better for the confrontation to have happened after Therese's conversation with Ryan, which would have provided enough context for viewers since those two characters talked about Ryan's problem with his brother. The given text is just an excerpt of a play review. Note how the writer of the review took note of and analyzed the play's plot and characters in order to provide critical feedback regarding the play. That concludes our video on writing play reviews. I hope you can now determine the relevance and the truthfulness and judge the validity of the ideas presented in viewing, listening, and reading play review texts. Thank you for watching!